Right.
Church is paying you. Church will not pay you 1 million and come and play from inside church.
A lot of work.
No, you're below.
Because no is as good as God, yes. Don't say I did not involve you. Thank.
Fall down and worship Him.
Try my best. Where's the mo- Hello.
Oga,
My chief, I greet you special. How you doing?
next Sunday.
Where are you going to? Well, it comes to the sun up now. Good morning. What's poppin'? It's a Monday and week 16 of the year 2026. As you guys know, I'm always super excited. You know, there's a function of my life that talks about, your mood every day. And mostly, I realize that my mood is always between content, happy and excited. And that's always my mood. You know what I mean? And so, it's a new week. I'm on my way to work, on my way to the office. I'm super excited about the new week. Alright guys, so this week our conversation is going to be around something that I find very interesting. Yesterday when I was at church, I was speaking to a friend and I said something to her. I said, God's no is as great as God's yes. She was like, oh wow, that's very solid, that's a word, and all of that. And I think that it's a very important conversation to talk about. So this week I'm going to be talking about saying no, in different dimensions. Of course, we'll start off with God saying no to you, but also we'll be touching based on saying no as a person, saying no to certain asks, certain things that people require from you, standing your ground and all of those things. But I'll be starting off with God saying no. And once again, I say God's no is as great as yes, And it made me remember something that my pastor touched on yesterday in church, when he was talking about Mary when they were at the wedding of Canaan, and they went to meet Jesus to say that wedding has finished at this party, bawa, Jesus, bawa. And he's like, you need to do something. And Jesus was like, my time is not yet right, And she left that conversation with the mindset that, I'm sure that this man is going to do this thing. I'm sure that this boy is going to do this thing. So she went to meet the servants and she said to them, whatever he asks you to do, you guys do it. And that just showed a level of faith that she had in Jesus, at that point. And she was assured that it was going to come true, even though he had said that the time wasn't yet set or the time wasn't yet right. And so most of us, when we are in certain situations, we're asking God for certain things, a promotion, a good wife, a good husband, a home, a child, and God is saying it's not yet time. It's because there's a reason. It's because things happen for an appointed time, but rather you will leave those situations. I can imagine an African mother in that kind of situation. She's just like, Jesus, you want to embarrass me, start playing mind games with Jesus. And she's just like, you want to embarrass us? This person is my friend. What would they expect me to do? What do you want them to do? Help us now. Then or they start trying to find solutions by themselves, But trusting in God is understanding that when He says no to a certain thing, it's for your good. When He says yes to a certain thing, it's also for your good. So it's important to understand these factors, and also important to know that that is how God works, And so it also applies to us as people too. When we're a certain ask are put forward to us, it's important that we understand that when certain asks are put forward to us, our no is as good as our yes. You know, when we say no to certain things, of course, I'm not saying you should be unruly and just always no, and going with that kind of mindset towards so many things. But you know, when you can, I mean, I've seen those situations a lot of times where, you know, maybe you're working with someone and the person can't fulfill a task, and for so many reasons, it's important that you say no to not taking that job. You know, you already have maybe a tailor or a designer, you already have like 200 orders that week, and you've closed up your shop, or somebody now comes, oh, I need this, I need that. It's great to say no, because it's better to leave honorable from that situation than to stay in it, because people are very funny. And when you meet that person, and the person that was begging you 2 seconds ago to say, please, by all means, do this thing for me, and you don't deliver, they start to drag you. So it's important to use wisdom, you know, also for that. But basically, our conversations will be around, you know, this week. I'll probably even show some practical situations where maybe people are asking me for certain things, and I'm not saying it on purpose, but if I can do it, of course. But if no situation comes up, all good. So I've gotten to work now, and let's go about my day.
If you just want to does it like show?
So, but for me, what happens is I have this, you track my water intake. So every time I don't need to influence because I have this. Don't.
It really works.
I think I'll touch it. Whatever you want to do, whatever you think about doing, just do it. I want to.
Don't say I did not involve you. Thank.
Why can't they stand up? Stand up. I get the point, but Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Hello. Do you think that
before you go and usher, you have to go to the school of ushering
yes,
in VI.
yes, and there are schools now. There are people that are running school.
Which kind of bad me? You don't ask some woman about the money you owe me. You go pay me. You go pay me.
But that's my point. It makes sense to us, right? But my point is, when it becomes money trade, there are so many things that come with it.
What's the name?
Because at the end of the day, if you are saying that, oh, it's because you are on a normal day. Trust me, today, if you are a musician in church and Ashake calls you, that you should come to Toronto.
I will go now.
So, but they are still paying you in church. But you
No,
still left.
no.
No, I'm telling you that church is paying you. Church is paying
Like,
you.
no, let me give you an example, right?
Church is paying you. church will not pay you 1 million naira to come and play
See,
drum inside church.
let me give you an example.
And if Ashake
Wait,
calls
now let me. I want to give you a good example. I want to give you a good example.
So where's your
When I
savings?
did Canada, right?
Desire bought food for us, so.
What did you? Why did I record me? I actually feel like this blogger people are not finished because why they put one service? Sometimes. You guys think it's another batch of food?
I mean, let me check you don't bring lights. Because this
When
Hi guys, I hope the camera is picking up my audio. Anyways, today is Thursday, and of course I'm working from home today. Started the morning with a lot of work already. At the moment I'm making breakfast for wifey. It's like past 11 actually. So it's more like brunch at this moment. The day has been cool. It rained this morning and it was pretty cool weather. But aside from that, like I've had some work to do this morning, and the rest of the day is going to be really workful. I don't have anything special happening today, just working from home. Right,
It's going to be a tall, bald guy with a leather jacket.
Hi guys, what's poppin'? It's a Friday week 16, and we're in through another week. I've not really been able to talk about what we are talking about this week, so I think I'll just really just do this journey to work. So I'm on my way to the office. It's been a really easy week for me, to be honest. And so yeah, on my way to the office this week, I really wanted to talk about investment, finances and investment, and I think I'll still go down on that next week also. So this is Friday already. I'll touch base on it, and I think I'll talk about it next week. At this point, I don't know. Let's see how that goes. I mean, talking about investment is interesting because it borders around finances, and money is a very important part of our life. Growing up, we heard a lot about money, and sometimes it seems like, oh, you have an idea of what it is. Sometimes it seems like when you have other experiences, you're just like you don't even know what money actually is. So I want to go from the perspective of investment, because for so long, conversations were always around saving. It's good to save. I mean, and I used to do that when I was growing up. And then used to have all those polo, that would put money in and save 20 naira, 10 naira, 5 naira at the end of the year. Bust it open and, like, voila, we have money, let's, spend the money. Of course, growing up, I've also, heard and seen my parents buy land. I remember one time when I was my mom or so, that was buy land, like 56 acres, on the way to Abeokuta thereabouts. I really don't know much about that now, but they started to instill, or I started to have like an idea of investment, but really never understood it. Really never got the angle. They don't know what it really does for you. And so growing up, when I started to make money, I started to think in different dimensions. Okay,
as a Nigerian, especially in an economy that the inflation, the economy is so crazy. Like before you wake up, you're paying rent 250k. Next thing your rent is 700. You're paying rent 5 million. Next thing is 20 million. So like things just spiral real quick, and if you are not grounded, you just lose your mind, in this country. But most important, if you are not even making enough money, which I don't think that, as the phase, depending on the phase you are in life, you might not be able to quickly just translate into making that money at that period in time. So one of the things that is good is savings and investment, and I like to say savings and investment because savings will help you on the rainy days, days where you save, especially depending on what you do. This conversation springs across different types of people. So we have entrepreneurs, we have salary earners that that are building like a career, they're building a career path, and most likely they earn a certain fee. So imagine you're a career person, you're earning, let's say, 1 million naira every month. The good question is, how do you now evolve on 1 million naira? And so many things. How do you make money? How do you grow your money? How do you get certain things like investment, like properties? If you are earning 1 million naira now, a property in Nigeria, an average property in a good place costs you around 150 million to 250 million, right? So how do you make such investment if when you're earning 1 million naira? So I strongly believe that stuff like investment, knowing what to invest, not just investing, knowing what to invest in, thinking about investment from two perspectives, a long-term and a short-term perspective. I'm no expert with finances, don't get me wrong, but I think that it's important to think about these things. Think about what to invest your money in. Seek information. Don't just be making that 1M, 2M and you feel like it's okay. Think about how you can triple, double your wealth. Because the more you grow, the more responsibility, the more your chase will increase, the more the things that you seek would increase, and at the end of the day. So yeah, that's a summary, but I hope to dive more into this conversation. I hope to find, in the course of my week, someone that probably is an expert, get them to talk about this a bit on my channel and get it to bless you guys. But that's how we're going today, close to the office. Another busy day ahead. It's Friday. Hopefully I'm going to wind it down a bit. I've not played FIFA in a very long time, and yesterday I did a yearly sub for my PSN, and I couldn't play because my wife wanted us to watch a movie or finish a movie that we had started. So I can't wait to go back home, to be honest. I just have that relaxation, play games, chill, and all of that. So yeah, that's it for this morning. I'll see you guys later. What's the vlog for that? Why are you not looking at me when I say that?
But 8,000 no longer feels well done again. No.
I was supposed to go to them. I was supposed to go. Hi guys, what's poppin'? The wife here said she want to do pedicure. What am I to say no?
Your bill. Yes.
You don't remember?
No, your bill.
You don't see that one. You don't see that part.
I'm telling you now.
Wahala.
I'm serious, it depends on what's
Most likely.
We will most likely not.
We will not sign. That does not
You record my video first.
You have to do things for your wife, you know.
It makes sense now. I know they go and you guys buy a cool house now.
I got back.
You know the African restaurant over there.